If you think football clubs are just about goals, trophies, and weekend matches, then you're about to discover one of the most powerful brand-building stories in sports history. Because the transformation of Manchester United from a local English football team into a worldwide commercial empire didn't happen by accident. It happened through decades of strategic decisions, cultural moments, legendary players, media timing, and global economic shifts that turned a football badge into a symbol recognized in almost every country on earth. To truly understand this rise, you have to go back to a time when football clubs were still mostly local institutions, tied to working-class neighborhoods before satellite television, before social media, before global merchandising networks, before billion-dollar sponsorship deals, and before football became a 24/7 entertainment industry competing with Hollywood, gaming, and global streaming culture. Manchester United's story is not just about football success, it is about understanding how sports, media, business, and storytelling merged into a single unstoppable machine. And the early foundation of this global identity started long before the modern era, when the club built a reputation for resilience and emotional storytelling, particularly after historical tragedies and rebuild eras. That created a deep emotional bond between the club and supporters, and emotional connection is the first step in building any global brand. Because people don't just support successful teams, they support stories. And Manchester United became one of football's greatest storytellers, through eras of dominance, rebuilding, and dramatic comebacks that made fans feel part of something bigger than sport itself. When football broadcasting expanded internationally during the late 20th century, the club was perfectly positioned to become one of the first teams exported into living rooms across Asia, Africa, and North America, especially when the rise of global television partnerships and international broadcasting rights accelerated through competitions and leagues that gained worldwide exposure, especially with the explosion of coverage tied to competitions like the FIFA World Cup, which indirectly helped clubs gain global audiences because viewers who discovered football through international tournaments began following club teams year-round. And Manchester United became one of the easiest clubs for new fans to connect with because their matches were widely broadcast, and their playing style was entertaining, attacking, and emotionally dramatic. And this exposure accelerated massively with the rise of the English Premier League, which transformed English football into a global television product by packaging matches for international audiences with consistent branding, star-focused marketing, and aggressive media distribution. And Manchester United quickly became the league's flagship global identity because of timing, success, and personality-driven storytelling around players and managers. And success matters because global audiences are naturally drawn to winners. But personality matters even more because personality creates emotional loyalty. And Manchester United mastered personality-driven global branding by turning players into global icons. And one of the earliest examples of this transformation was the rise of David Beckham, who helped redefine what it meant to be a footballer in the global celebrity era. Because Beckham was not only a football star, but also a fashion icon, pop culture figure, and marketing phenomenon who connected football to audiences that previously had no interest in the sport, especially in markets like Asia and the United States. And when a football club has players who transcend sport and enter mainstream culture, the club brand expands into lifestyle identity. And Manchester United understood early that football clubs were no longer competing only against other teams. They were competing for attention against music artists, movie stars, and global entertainment brands. Another critical phase in the club's global branding evolution was its strategic commercial expansion into merchandising and licensing. Because Manchester United didn't just sell jerseys, they sold identity, belonging, and emotional connection through partnerships, retail expansions, and international tours. The club turned match-day fandom into year-round consumer engagement, and pre-season tours in Asia and America were not just about preparation for seasons, they were global marketing campaigns that created new generations of supporters. And the club's leadership understood something many competitors were slow to realize. that football fans are not limited by geography anymore, and if you provide consistent storytelling, accessible content, and recognizable heroes, fans can exist anywhere. And this philosophy also influenced stadium branding, digital content strategy, and sponsorship deals that aligned the club with global companies wanting access to international fan bases. And sponsorships became storytelling partnerships, which multiplied revenue streams while reinforcing brand prestige. And another defining moment in Manchester United's global rise was its ability to create rivalry narratives that captured global attention, especially comparisons with historically dominant clubs like Real Madrid, because global sports fans are drawn to dynasties, rivalries, and legacy battles. And when two globally recognized clubs compete in major tournaments, they generate narrative energy that pulls in casual viewers and converts them into long-term fans. This storytelling power multiplied again during the era when global superstars like Cristiano Ronaldo wore the Manchester United jersey, because Ronaldo represented the perfect fusion of elite performance, physical excellence, marketability, and global digital era celebrity. And during this era, Manchester United's digital footprint exploded as social media began replacing traditional media as the primary fan engagement platform, and the club adapted quickly by building massive online communities that allowed fans from different continents to experience matches, celebrations, and behind-the-scenes moments simultaneously, creating a sense of global shared identity. And this global digital presence transformed the club from a sports team into an always-on entertainment brand. And this transformation mirrors broader global trends, where traditional institutions become lifestyle ecosystems. And Manchester United's global success also influenced how other clubs approached brand expansion, with many attempting to replicate its formula of combining on-field success, personality-driven marketing, global tours, aggressive merchandising, and digital fan engagement. But replication is difficult because brand building requires decades of narrative consistency. And Manchester United benefited from historical timing, where their dominance coincided with the globalization of television, the rise of celebrity athlete culture, and the expansion of digital media. Another major factor in the club's brand power is generational fan inheritance, because football fandom is often passed down through families. And when a club achieves global visibility during a key media transition era, it can lock in multi-generation global supporters. And Manchester United captured millions of new international fans during the 1990s and early 2000s media expansion period, and those fans are now raising new generations of supporters, reinforcing global brand continuity. This type of generational loyalty is extremely rare in modern entertainment industries, where trends usually fade quickly. But football clubs with strong historical storytelling can maintain emotional loyalty across decades. And Manchester United's brand story also benefited from dramatic match narratives, last-minute victories, and comeback culture that created emotional memory moments for fans. And emotional memory is one of the most powerful drivers of brand loyalty, because people remember how something made them feel more than statistics or results. And the club's brand also benefited from its ability to adapt to changing football economics, including modern broadcasting deals, global sponsorship expansion, and international academy development. And modern football clubs must operate like multinational corporations, while maintaining the emotional storytelling of community sports teams. And Manchester United's success shows that balancing commercial expansion with emotional storytelling is the key to long-term global brand survival. And today, the club represents more than football results. It represents legacy, identity, nostalgia, and global sports culture. And even during periods of rebuilding or performance challenges, the brand remains powerful because global brand strength is built over decades, not seasons. And this is why Manchester United continues to rank among the most recognizable sports brands globally. And their journey proves that football clubs that understand media, storytelling, global culture, and emotional connection can transcend sport and become permanent global cultural institutions. And the biggest lesson from Manchester United's global rise is that success in modern sports is not just about winning matches, it is about winning attention, winning emotional loyalty, and winning cultural relevance across generations. And as football continues evolving in the digital streaming era, the clubs that dominate globally will be those that understand what Manchester United understood decades ago, that football is not just played on the pitch, it is played in the minds, memories, and identities of fans worldwide.